not a fan of that whole OG Grimm Brothers frog story. That's right. I said it. Hello, my lovelies. I am Madam Crystal Butterfly. I admit, when I was a kid, and even now, I've always hated, like the majority of the versions of the Frog Prince story, especially the Grimm Brothers one. Where does this hatred come from? Well, my lovelies, sit back and relax as I tell y'all all about that Grimm Brothers frog. Now, our tale begins, as with many fairy tale stories, in a kingdom. Which one? I don't know. Name of it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a fairy tale, and it's a kingdom. Now, this kingdom is ruled from what we can assume, a kindly king who has several daughters, and the most beautiful of all his daughters is the youngest one. Okay, now, the princess absolutely loves on hot days to head down near the well and play with her golden ball because it's her absolute favorite thing. Per se, her usual routines when she's down by the well, she tosses her ball and catches it, then tosses her ball and catches it again, and then when she tosses her ball to once again catch it, she don't catch it. It ends up down the well. And Lassie ain't in this story, so she's screwed. As I said before, this ball is her absolute favorite thing. So she gets all hysterical when she loses it. Ignore any and all rationale she could actually be using in this moment. She's hysterical because her ball is gone forever. Now, from the lake that is apparently nearby this well, a frog who heard the princess crying pops his head out of the water and he's like, "Hey, princess, what the hell is wrong with you?" And she's like, "I've lost my golden ball. It's down a well. I don't know what to do. It's down a well." And the frog's all like, "Hey, princess, just cool it, okay? I can go down the well and just get the ball for you." And she's all like, "Oh, thank you. That means so much." And the frog's all, "Whoa, missy. I said I could go down and get it for you. I didn't say I was going to do that mess for free." And the princess is like, "Oh, you want something? Okay, I can give you my dress, or you can have my fancy jewels, or even my crown. You want a crown? I'll give you my crown." And the frog's all like, "Hell no. Who you think you're fooling? I don't want any of that mess." And as y'all can guess, the princess is all, "Well, what the hell do you want?" Now, what does our frog want? Well, his demands, although very big, are simple. He wants to be her playmate. He wants to sit at her table and eat off of her golden plate. And he wants to sleep in her bed. Now, our princess is thinking, "I don't want this nasty frog all up on my shit. Nuh-uh. Let's see, he's a frog, so not like he can make me, a princess, do any of this stuff for him. So I'll just tell him this stuff is a deal, it's cool. Get him to get my shit for me, and then I'm gone." So she gives the frog the green light. "Yeah, I'll do what you're asking." Frog's like, "Cool." Jumps down the well, gets her ball, brings it to her. She gets her ball, then she's off, "Bye, bitch," and hightails it back to her castle. Later that evening, when the princess is enjoying a nice dinner with her father, someone comes knocking at her door. And when she goes to see who it is, the darn frog is there waiting for her. Frog's like, "Hey, princess, we have a deal. It's time for you to come in on your end." She's all like, "Oh, hell no." To which her father inquires, "What's going on? What is this frog talking about? You got a deal with him." So the princess tells her daddy exactly what went down at the well. And you would think that the king would be like, "Oh, no, I don't care. This is my daughter. She is a royal. She does not associate with frogs." Instead, he's like, whoa, darling. This is someone who helped you in a time of need. So you need to keep your end of the deal and do what you promised him you would do. Now, admittedly, I have a lot of problems with the king dubbing this as helping in a time of need, but I am going to explain that later. Okay, so the princess grudgingly lets the frog eat from her plate, and he's enjoying himself, and she's grossed out because he's some nasty frog. And later, after, dinner's over, Frog's like, "I'm tired. Take me to your bedroom so I can get some sleep." And via daddy's orders, the princess takes him to her room, but she's carrying him with 2 fingers because naturally she doesn't want to touch that nasty mucusy frog. So the princess just puts the frog somewhere in her room and, climbs in the bed to get some sleep. And the frog's like, hey, princess, I want to be comfortable, so let me into your bed so I can get some rest. If you don't, I'm going to tell your daddy. Now this is where our froggy friend has crossed the line, because she tolerated him eating from her plate. She tolerated carrying him to her room. And she tolerated him being in her room. But now, not only is he determined to get his slimy ass in her bed, but he is gonna be a damn snitch. And as we all know, snitches get stitches. So she grabs his sorry ass and throws him against the wall as hard as she can in hopes of killing him. But instead of the frog dying, he transforms into a handsome prince. At this point, the princess is confused and asks, "What the hell just happened?" And the princess is like, "Don't worry, princess, it's cool. You see, some evil enchantress that I'm no longer worried about for reasons that are not explained in this story turned me into a frog. And only you could break the curse. And now that I'm free and a handsome prince again, we can go to my kingdom if you want and live the fairy tale happily ever after." And the princess says, "Okay, yeah. Let's go to your kingdom and live happily ever after now that you're fine as hell." Okay, this part of the story I'm about to get into is one not everybody talks about, but it is a part of the story that is mildly interesting. So, when the princess servant arrives the next day to pick them up, he's picked up by his servant known as Loyal Heinrich. And as the carriage is moving, taking them home, the prince hears this noise, this loud cracking noise. And he thinks the carriage is tearing up. So he's like, "Yo, Heinrich, buddy, I think the carriage is about to mess up. You need to get out and check it." And Heinrich saw, "Oh no, your highness. It's not the carriage. When you were turned into a frog, I had my heart encased in these metal bands to keep it from breaking. But now that you're back to being a person, the bands are breaking because my heart is just filled with so much joy. There are apparently even versions of the story that are actually called Loyal Heinrich. But obviously that didn't really catch on as well as The Frog Prince. Anyway, that is the Grimm brothers version of The Frog Prince. Now, what is my problem with this story? Y'all just gonna have to find out in my next video. Until next time, my lovelies, come with me as we dance into a world of magic.